Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Muslim Daily Reminder. What if I told you that some simple, almost invisible gestures can earn you unimaginable rewards? No need for wealth, no need for power, just intention, a discreet action, a seed sown between you and your Creator. Here are 5 small acts, almost silent, but whose resonance reaches into eternity. A sentence so simple that your tongue could say it without even thinking about it. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. It flows light, like a breath caressing the morning air. But it's not just a breath, it is a rain of light that falls gently on your heart. Every time you repeat these words, it is as if you are planting a tree in your secret garden, a tree that grows, that spreads its roots toward heaven, toward clemency, toward infinite mercy. There is no need for temples, grand ceremonies, or long hours to feel the presence of Allah. No, connection can be born in those discreet moments, those sincere whispers that you slip into your daily life. These 100 words are not a simple count. They are a dance between your tongue and your soul. With each rehearsal, a small miracle happens. You gently erase the heavy clouds that darken your mind. You lighten the invisible burdens that weigh on your heart. The beauty of this invocation lies in its simplicity, in its constancy. No need to wait for exceptional circumstances. No need to be perfect, just the breath, just the word, just the truth of your heart. And as you repeat, you may feel a sense of calm settling in, a calm that seeps into your restless thoughts, a fragile but powerful bond that is woven between you and the one who is above all. This subhanallah wa bihamdihi is a key that opens invisible doors, doors that lead to peace, purity, remission. Imagine an instant, every word spoken is like a star in an inner sky. At first, a small glimmer, but little by little they form a constellation, a luminous path in the night. And this path is your way to the best of yourself, toward a life where every word, even the most humble, becomes an act of worship. This small act may seem trivial, but in this simplicity lies a greatness that surpasses all measure. So let this invocation become your refuge, a secret garden that you visit every day, a breath of life that renews your soul. And if you find your mind wandering, gently bring him back to these words. They are there waiting for you to repeat them. For you, for your light, for your peace. Imagine you are walking down a narrow alley, one of those places where attention is required. A sharp, rough stone lies there, barely visible, but enough to injure an inattentive passerby. Or maybe a piece of wood, a bag, some debris that is blocking the way. You slow down. Your gaze captures this tiny, almost insignificant danger. Without noise, without fanfare, you reach out and move the obstacle. He disappears from the path. Nobody saw you. There will be no praise, no comments, no hashtags. You didn't share this gesture on social media. No one will talk about it. But Allah saw it. In this silence, in this discretion, your heart spoke. This simple act, which you considered almost unimportant, has become a flash of light on your scale. In our tradition, we say that faith is not measured only by great visible actions, but often by small gestures that make the daily lives of others easier. Out of sight, out of the noise. Remember this story, a familiar but still powerful story. A man, crushed by the weight of his sins, found clemency not through a grandiose act, but by simply clearing a path. A modest gesture, but one that opened the doors of forgiveness for him. What you call nothing might well be your greatest treasure in the sight of Allah. A stone removed from the path, a smile offered in the face of difficulty, a hand extended with no hope of return. These small actions, almost invisible in the mad rush of the world, are the true marks of faith, because they show that you are aware, that you take care, that you are attentive to your environment, to your brothers and sisters, to creation as a whole. Sometimes we look for greatness in the extraordinary, in the spectacular. But the truth is that small attentions weigh heavily, very heavily. They are like precious stones hidden under the dust. So the next time you see an obstacle, literally or figuratively, in your path, don't hesitate. Take it off, with gentleness, with discretion, with faith, because at that precise moment, You are participating in a sacred act, an act that beautifies your life here below and will be counted as a shining light in the hereafter. You change a stranger's life without knowing it. You change your own life without seeing it. But Allah sees everything. Water. This simple, transparent, and indispensable source of life. It flows, it soothes, it purifies. Imagine what a moment. You have a bottle of cold water in your hands, a banal gesture of your day. Then you see someone, a human being, a tired, thirsty animal, seeking some respite from the oppressive heat, the dryness, or the loneliness. You hold out your hand. You gently pour a sip of water into a container or directly into his mouth. It is a tiny, almost insignificant gesture. But this small act, rooted in compassion, holds immense weight in the eyes of Allah, because it is not the quantity of water that counts, but the sincere intention, that breath of empathy that crosses your heart. That moment when you offer without expectation, without judgment, without asking for recognition. A simple gesture of love, of humanity. In spiritual tradition, giving a sip of water to someone who is suffering is a source of purification. An act that erases faults, like a gentle rain that washes the dust from souls. Never underestimate the power of mercy expressed in simplicity, because sometimes it's these moments of discreet tenderness that trigger the most profound transformations. It is the drops of compassion that make an ocean of benevolence grow. Think about the fragility of life, how a living being without water dries up, is lost, disappears. Your sip, even small, then becomes a fountain of life, a tangible reminder that every created being deserves dignity and care. Perhaps one day you too will go through a trial, an inner desert, a moment of spiritual dryness. This small gesture that you have made, this drop of water given unconditionally, will return to you like a rain of rahmah, of mercy, which will refresh your soul. To offer this sip is to offer a little of yourself, a light in the darkness, a breath of peace in the tumult. So every time you hold a glass of water, every time you have the opportunity to quench another's thirst, remember, this is not just a trivial act, it is a bridge to eternity, a step on the path to purification and forgiveness. Because greatness in faith is not measured by quantity, but by the quality of your heart. And to give a sip of water is to offer an immense treasure without costing anything, except a little of your compassion, a smile, a simple movement of the lips. No need for words, no need for grand declarations, no need to wait for a perfect moment or organize a big event. Just a smile offered with sincerity, without calculation, without expectation. In this often heavy world, saturated with worries and tensions, a smile is like a light breeze that crosses the air. It brightens faces, softens hearts, creates an invisible but powerful connection. You may have underestimated this power, but in the richness of our spiritual heritage, the smile is more than a simple gesture. It is an act of almsgiving, a gift, a gift. Imagine the countless faces you see every day. Tired looks, wounded souls, spirits in search of comfort. A simple smile can become a spark, an unexpected source of light. You never know, but this small act could change the trajectory of a day, of a life. It can break the chain of discouragement. It can open a door, heal an invisible wound. And this smile, offered without expecting anything, is a pure offering. No need to be rich, powerful, or famous. No need for perfect words or elaborate speeches. Your smile is enough. Your light is enough. Now imagine a chain of smiles, a circle that grows, that spreads, that transforms the darkest places into spaces of peace and brotherhood. It's not just a facial expression, it's a universal language. A language of the heart that crosses all barriers, all prejudices. Smiling also means recognizing the dignity of your brother or sister. It's a gesture that says, you are seen, you matter. In a world where so many voices remain silent, your smile can become a gentle cry of compassion. So the next time you meet someone, remember, a sincere smile is a noble act, a wealth that you distribute without losing anything. And if you feel tired, gloomy, or lonely, remember that the same smile you give can come back to you, multiplied by those you gave it to. The house is asleep, the lights are out, the voices have fallen silent. The world seems to pause as if suspended in a deep breath, and you, slowly, you wake up. Not for a big show, nor a visible act, just for an intimate, reserved moment between you and the one who sees into the darkness of your soul. You get up, not long, 2 units of prayer, a simple, almost minimalist gesture. No heroic effort, no admiring glance. In this silence, there is only your breathing, the soft rustling of your clothes, and the peace of the darkness that envelops you. It is there, in this deep night, that sincerity blossoms. When the tumult of the day has dissipated, when distractions have fallen silent, when fatigue weighs on your body, it is your soul that awakens. It is not about the quantity nor the length of this prayer. It is not the duration nor the apparent size that matters. It's the very fact that you got up, that you have answered the silent call of your conscience. When no one was looking, when no one expected anything from you, when the night seemed to keep all its secrets. This small, discreet act is nevertheless an immense force. It is a bridge between the visible and the invisible, a moment when the human touches the divine. In the depths of this chosen solitude, you find yourself face to face with yourself, with your truth. And in this prayer, even brief, a unique dialogue is written, a silent promise. You say that your faith does not depend on looks or applause. May your connection with Allah be personal, sincere, rooted in purity of heart. It is in this fight against fatigue, against laziness, against cold silence that the inner light grows. A breath of hope, a star in the night. No matter how simple the gesture, the sincerity you put into it is a jewel, a source of comfort for your soul. It is not a spectacular feat, but it is a precious testimony, a humble victory. One night, one moment, one prayer, and everything changes. There are no small gestures when they are directed toward the one who sees all. You see, in this world you have been taught that greatness is in the noise, in the applause, in the great achievements. But in the invisible, there are hidden doors to eternity, a word repeated in the silence, an obstacle removed from the path without anyone knowing, a smile, a sip of water, a discreet awakening in the middle of the night. These acts may not make the earth tremble, but they can change your scales on the day when everything will be weighed. Are you looking for miracles? Start with these little keys, because sometimes paradise is built in the details. And if one of these actions touched you, tell me in the comments. What is the small act that inspires you the most? Or the one you've been neglecting, but want to get back to today? Because it's not the size of the act that matters. It is the heart that carries it. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.